What's up, guys? It's Benches, and welcome back to the Sonic the Hedgehog Retrospective. We are now entering the third in this amazing trilogy. It's Sonic 3, guys. And I know you're probably thinking, it's just like, hey, Benches, why didn't you just play Sonic 3 and Knuckles and everything like that? True, I could have done that, but I wanted to do Sonic 3 separate just because there are some fun things about this game that I like. And plus, Sonic and Knuckles, when you do the Sonic and Knuckles cartridge by itself, it has its own little intro, so I wanted to show some love to that intro as well. But we're going to get started here and have some fun with the Sonic. It's going to be a good time. Because everybody loves the blue blur. So let's get going. Alright. And as always, you notice, this is the first Sonic game that introduced save files. Like, for the longest time, all the Sonic games didn't have save files. So this was the first time you were introduced to having a save file, because this game is big. It's big. There's a lot of levels, there's a lot of long levels, and it's really fun. I enjoy it. It's a good time. Knuckles is the most powerful character in the Sonic universe because he can run into Sonic when he's Super Sonic and he loses all the emeralds. He doesn't lose rings, just emeralds. But, yeah. But I will say this, though. I remember the promotion for Sonic 3 when it originally came out. Like, the big thing about Sonic 3 was, like, there was the introduction of a new character, and it was Knuckles and everything like that. And he was, like, hidden. You weren't allowed to see what he looks like until, like, the game came out and everything like that. Because if you look at the box art for Sonic 3 on Genesis, I think it's only the US version, but you see Sonic, he's standing in the front, he's holding up 3 fingers, it says Sonic 3, and you see in the bushes behind him, there's 2 little eyeballs there looking at him. And if you pay close attention, those are actually Knuckles' eyes. I'm assuming they're Knuckles' eyes, because I could be totally wrong. But I always assume... Crap! I was always assuming that was Knuckles. But, yeah, dude, there's a lot of like history and just trivia about this version of the game that I remember very, very clear. I think one of the most notable ones is that, This was the game that apparently, like, Michael Jackson helped do the music for, and a lot of people didn't think that was true. A lot of people thought it was a hoax and everything like that, and it comes to find out that it was a real thing. It was a real thing. Like, Michael Jackson actually helped with the music for Sonic 3. Like, I think it was just Sonic 3. It might have been Sonic 3 and Knuckles, but I'm not sure. But apparently, the whole reason they actually cut it from there was because of the whole thing when he was having, like, the legal troubles and all that stuff, and that's why they cut it. But you'll notice if you listen to certain songs in the game, you'll hear small little things that kind of revert it back to Michael Jackson songs, and I always thought that was really cool. It made me really just like, wow, that's neat. Because I think it's in the Casinopolis level. There's, like, you can hear the small little jingle from the song Jam, the Michael Jackson song where he does the music video with Michael Jordan. Yeah, there's that one, and I think there was one. I think it's the ice, one of the ice cap zone levels, but you can hear the beat from Stranger in Moscow is another one, and it's just like. At first, you hear about that, and you're thinking, it's like, that's not true. There's no way that can be true. And then you hear it, and you're just like, oh, I hear it. Because when you... No! They were supposed to turn to rings! Ugh. I gotta be honest. Out of all the bonus levels in Sonic games, the balls in Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles, I don't know how much of a fan I am of... What? How much of a fan I am of them, man. It's like, I like it because I'll be honest, like, visual-wise, it looks the coolest, but playstyle-wise, not so much. Gotta be honest, not so much. Not my favorite. But, yeah. Listen, I remember when this game came out, and everybody was all like, "God, this is like," because if you notice, they even they changed Sonic's sprite for this game. Because if you notice, he's got more of kind of like a rounder, more like cartoonish look to him in this one compared to like Sonic 1, Sonic 2, and Sonic CD. So this one was actually pretty cool because they actually changed his sprite around a little bit. So, and it's just like, it was interesting. The thing is that like I noticed that they don't really use this sprite of Sonic anymore. Like, because even if you look at like how Sonic looks in Sonic Mania that's coming out soon, they're using more of like the Sonic CD style sprite. They're not using like the Sonic 3 sprite, which I always thought was weird because I'm just like, this Sonic sprite like looks more animated, it looks more cartoony, looks a little bit more the way Sonic should look, right? But for some reason they didn't use this one anymore. It's like the only time you see this sprite is in Sonic 3 and then Sonic and Knuckles. You don't really see it again. And I always wondered why that is. Maybe just because they prefer that more classic look to Sonic. I mean, I don't know. Personally, to me, I like both of the sprites. I don't really have a favorite. Oh, I totally screwed myself! Genesis controller! Why are you so mean to me? See, this is hard to do when you're doing commentary because it's hard to focus, but I don't want to be in like utter silence while I'm doing this because it's no fun to just sit here in utter silence and then you're just like, well, this is a thing that's happening. But yeah, man, I don't know what it was back in the day in the video game era, but the number 3, man, the number 3 was always that big number. Like apparently everybody would always say that number 3 is like always going to be the best one. It was like that for Mario, and a lot of people said that was like that for Sonic. Because a lot of people feel, I don't know if people still feel that way, but a lot of people felt that Sonic 3 was like the quintessential, like, best Sonic game on the Genesis. Now, I know there are going to be some people out there that's like, oh, well, Sonic CD is way better. True, Sonic CD is fantastic. It's like one of the best Sonic games ever made. But technically, it didn't come out for the Genesis. It came out for the Sega CD. And then it came out on the Saturn, too, I believe. But, so, I mean, technically, and I underline that, and I say that very, very crucially, technically, Sonic CD didn't come out for the Genesis. Because you needed the Sega CD port connection for that in order to play it. Because if you didn't have it, you couldn't play Sonic CD. That was just how it was. But yeah, anybody who had a Genesis, everybody's just like, yeah, Sonic 3 was the best Sonic game, just because it looked better, it played better, it sounded better. It was just overall, it was just a huger, way bigger game. Like everything about it, like there was like the whole thing, and then when like they added the whole Sonic and Knuckles thing, they basically just said, hey, you know how you like this game? Well, we're going to give you the opportunity to extend the game, make it longer, give you the ability to play it more by allowing you to connect the Sonic 3 cartridge on top of the Sonic and Knuckles cartridge. That way, essentially, you basically extend the story of this game. Gives you more levels to play, gives you new music to listen to, and all that. So I always thought that was really cool. But, I mean, it was like, in a weird way, that was kind of how they did a DLC in a way. So, because, I mean, it was more or less just an expansion to Sonic 3. It was an expansion into that. Because I believe it was originally when they made Sonic 3, the whole thing with Sonic and Knuckles was they wanted that all to be in Sonic 3. But they ran short on time, and time constraints and everything like that, so it made it a little difficult in order for them to put it all in one game. So they took Sonic 3, put it out, and then a year later, they went ahead and released Sonic and Knuckles. I don't even think it was a year. I think it was like just a few months after Sonic 3 came out. But yeah, they went along the lines, released that, and it was awesome. And then they made it even better because they're all like, hey, now you can play Sonic 3 and Knuckles, but now you have the ability to play Knuckles in Sonic 2. All you have to do is just plug your Sonic 2 cartridge into Sonic and Knuckles, and you can play Sonic and Knuckles in Sonic 2. And to some people, it's like, what's the big deal? Why is that a big? Why is that a thing? There's nothing too crazy about that. But it was almost like, at least for me, when I first played it, I was just like, it's almost like a completely different experience because of that. It was like yeah, I've played these levels before, but now I'm playing them a way that initially wasn't really the way it was meant to be played. Because, like, again, Knuckles wasn't supposed to be in Sonic 2. And just the fact that you're playing Sonic 2 and you have Knuckles now, and now you have the ability to climb on walls, you can glide and everything like that. It was cool. It was cool. It was a cool little added little feature. It was a way for you to kind of extend the life of your copy of Sonic 2. Like, if you really like Sonic 2 and you still wanted reasons to play it, you had a reason to play it if you owned a copy of Sonic and Knuckles. And I always thought that was cool. Because I will say that was one really innovative thing that Sega had over Nintendo. Because when you think about it, Nintendo didn't really have something like that. They didn't have it so it was like, oh, you could plug your cartridge in and play new levels and stuff for a game that you already have and everything like that. So Sega had it a little bit ahead with Nintendo on that. So I'll give them that, which I thought was really cool. And there's so many good levels in Sonic 3, man. There's so many memorable stages. Like I think obviously like some of them, like Casino Night was really good. Then of course you have the Ice Cap Zone with one of the coolest freaking melodies in a video game, a Sonic game at that. And it's just like, yeah, man. Just the music in this game just really... Because a lot of people say the sound on a Genesis really, really sucks. But just, dude, the music in Sonic 3, it nails it. So good. It's like any other like, you know, game out there at the time. And it's just like, it really, really set a tone for how good these games can be. And I really, really liked that. I really, really liked that. And it's just, I don't know, man. Sonic 3 just, it set the bar, I think, for no. We want that bonus ring, boys and girls. We want that bonus ring. Got that bonus ring. Gotta get that bonus ring. Go yes that. Oh, how big did I screw myself just now? We're about to find out. Ooh. Saved it, because I'm a genius, boys and girls. That's right, your buddy Benchez is a genius, because he found himself in a pickle, and then he put himself in a jar, and he said, no sir, do not open until Christmas. Christmas came early. Again, I gloat, I fail. It's how the world works, ladies and gentlemen. That's how the world works. That's fine. That's perfectly okay. You know what? I could sit here and complain about my mistakes, or I could just be talking more about Sonic. And that's what I'm gonna do. Because Sonic is what we're here to talk about, not my horrible playing. But yeah. It's just like around this time though, man. It's like Sonic was just blowing up, man. He had his. I'm in a spin dry. It's like I'm in a washing machine. But yeah, man. There were so many games for Sonic out, like on the Genesis. There were even like a few like of those cheesy like kid games and everything like that. Because there was even like a Sonic early learning game for like PC that was awful, by the way. It was terrible. Like you thought like Mario's like early learning and like Mario's Time Machine were bad. Ooh, you should see the Sonic one. Oh, that one. That is next level bad. But yeah, man, it's just I don't know what it was back in the day. It's like if you were a video game icon, I did not spin dash and I got squished. But yeah, if you were a video game icon in the 90s, you had a children's learning game made with you in it. Like I think Mario and Sonic were the only ones, because I don't think like Rayman or Crash Bandicoot or anything like that had one, but it'd be interesting if they did. Or like Gex, or Blinks the Time Cat, or Bubsy, because Bubsy's apparently making a comeback now. That's still something that I'm like in utter shock about that that's happening, but you know, I think it's good that some of these franchises are coming back. I don't necessarily know if I would call Bubsy a franchise, but it's interesting that they're coming back. So a whole new generation of people can see how much that those games sucked at some point. So we're gonna get a Bubsy HD collection. Bubsy Mania is gonna happen. I think it's a real thing. But yeah, man. Just like the more I think about this and the more I play it, it just reminds me of just the time they took me to play this. Because again, when I had my Genesis and everything like that, I didn't have Sonic 3. I think, if I remember correctly, I missed out on Sonic 3, but I had Sonic and Knuckles. So I got Sonic and Knuckles, but I didn't get Sonic 3. So there was a whole chunk of the Sonic and Knuckles, Sonic 3 story that I missed out on. And I actually didn't get around to playing Sonic 3 until I was like, I think it was in 8th grade. Like, I was just getting ready to head into high school, and a buddy of mine just happened to have like some Genesis games that he wanted to get rid of, because he's just like, I'm too cool for video games now. I like girls and stuff, and it's all good. I'm like, I'll take some of those. And so I basically I bought his games off of him. And I mean, he had the essential Genesis games that you have if you have a Genesis. He had Sonic 1 and Sonic 2. He had Sonic 3, which was beautiful. But he also had Zombies Ate My Neighbors, which, ooh, that game, let me tell you guys, that's a whole nother game I need to make for a whole nother video. But that'll happen soon. Yeah, but just like the quintessential stuff, like he had Altered Beast, Streets of Rage, and all that stuff. So I was able to finally get my hands on it, and then like I saw Sonic 3, and I'm like, I haven't played Sonic 3. I haven't had a chance to play this. So this will finally be my opportunity to play it. And I was like, should I just play it regular style, or should I just go ahead and attach the Sonic and Knuckles cartridge? So I did what anybody would do in that particular situation, and I attached the Sonic and Knuckles cartridge to it. That way I could get the full-fledged Sonic 3 experience. And just my mind, there was no more room for my brain by how much my mind was blown by how big the game was and just how much fun it was. It's just like, oh, it's so good. Like, it felt complete. I felt like I was finally finishing a chapter in my early childhood, because I finally got the chance to get the game, play it, and it's just like, I feel whole. I feel complete. But it was a cool experience, man. It's just like, that's what I'm saying, man. Just have some good friends with you. Because you never know. Your good friends might just give you some Genesis games, and you get to experience some stuff. No! No swirly! Oh, great, I'm out of rings. Beautiful! Okay, give me another one. Give me another one. Give me another one. Boing, boing, boing. That's how you win the game. Oh man, that didn't even take nothing. That didn't even take nothing. But yeah, I think the one last thing I can talk about this game that reminds me more than anything is the casino level. The casino level in this game. There's one particular part that I'm pretty sure that if you guys have played Sonic 3 or Sonic and Knuckles, you know exactly which one I'm talking about. It's the one where it has like the the little like round cylinder tubes that you have to jump on, and it, for the life of me, I swear to you guys, for the life of me, I could never ever figure out how to move on them. Like as a kid, I tried the like, you know, the basic thing, jumping up and down on it, thinking that was going to be the way to do it, and lo and behold, it works, but it takes way too long. Like I think the last time I did it when I was a kid, just that part alone, it took me over 10 It took me over 10 minutes to do that one area. And you already know, if it in Sonic, you only get 10 minutes to complete a level. If you surpass 10 minutes, then you automatically lose a life. Because for some reason 10 minutes is too long in a Sonic game. Unless this is Sonic Heroes. In Sonic Heroes, some levels take up to 15-20 minutes if you don't know where you're going. Yeah, man. And then I come to find out, again, because I found this out way later, that you don't need to jump on it in order to get across it. Apparently, all you have to do, which is still shocking to me to this day, that all you have to do is you have to just press up and down on the directional pad. You press up and down, and that changes the momentum of where it goes. And when I figured that out, I'm like, are you f***ing kidding me? All that stress as a child, and all I had to do was press up and down. That's all I had to do. And I'm like, yep, that's all you had to do. That's all you had to do, and you could get through the game, you could get through the level and just beat it in no time. And once you figure that out, you're just like, wow. The one thing that you would have never have thought to do, that was the way to do it. And it's just like, that's how it was, man. When you figured out stuff, it was just like, it was a really cool feeling. It was a really cool feeling when you figured it out. I mean, granted, it was a cool feeling once you finally figured it out, but once you actually realized what you had to do in order to get to that, you get a little mad at yourself. Let's be real here. You get a little frustrated, but that's okay. That's okay. It's how we to make it as cliche as I can for a Sonic game. It's how you live and learn. You know. It's how you hang on the edge of tomorrow. I'm trying to think of the rest of the lyrics, but I'm trying to focus as well and not hit the red balls. Cocaine in a can, baby. If you guys remember that skit from Chappelle's show where he talks about red balls. But yeah. Just, this game, man. The memories behind it, just the fun I remember having with it. It's one of those things. You know a game's a treasure when you can just, the second you hear the Sega, you're just like, you're back on cloud 9, you know? You're back in a happy place. You remember, just like, this is when times were not so tough. People weren't so stupid. Life was easy. Things didn't need to be so complicated to make sense. You could just sit down with a bowl of cereal, enjoy a Saturday afternoon, play some Sonic the Hedgehog, and just, you know what? Life was okay. Life made sense. No need to be difficult or frustrating. Just enjoy yourself. Be you. Be happy. You know? It makes it really, really worth it. Where are these last blue balls? I need 9 of them. Okay. Let's go this way. No! I meant to jump. God dang it. It's hard to commentate and get the blue balls. Ladies. But yeah. It's really good, man. Sometimes it really is helpful to just go back to those fun games of your past, of the yesteryear, remembering why you love them, what makes you love them, and why they're so gosh dang good. And it really helps you appreciate the future of what that franchise may hold. It's why I'm excited for Sonic Mania. Not just because, you know, it's a nostalgia trip or anything like that. It's just because I'm genuinely excited to see a 2D Sonic game in the modern era. Like, I'm very, very excited for that. I'm very excited to see what they're going to do with this. And I'm curious just to see how well this game is going to sell. Because right now, as far as I can tell, it's hitting all the right notes. It's hitting all the right notes. People are excited about it. People are happy with it. And it makes me really, really excited to see if this does well as I'm hoping that it does. What else does that mean for just like just 2D Sonic games in general? Like what is that gonna do? Like, are we gonna see more of them? Or are we possibly gonna see? Wow, that just happened. Good God, where's the exit of this level? Come on! That's another thing I love too. Right when you fight the boss, you hear come on! So 90s, man. So freaking 90s. I loves it. I loves it. Ugh. Come on! But I think this will do it for this episode of the Sonic the Hedgehog Retrospective. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and hopefully you will join me in the next video, which will be on Sonic and Knuckles. And then once we blast through that at the speed of sound, we're going to jump finally into the newly released, newly brought to us Sonic Mania. We're going to take a look at it, we're going to have fun with it, we're going to see if it's going to bring us back to the times when Sonic was just blue with red shoes and was fast. Because let's be honest, guys, that was what he was all about. He was fast. He was a blue streak who speed by. He had an attitude. He was Sonic the Hedgehog. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. I love all your faces. This was Sonic the Hedgehog Retrospective, Sonic 3. I'll see you next time. See you later!